Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dexter Drummond, and I am the modern day rocker. If you didn't know, now you know. And it is an honor and a privilege to be here right now, cutting a promo about a guy who I actually have a lot of respect for. You see, Gene Jackson, or as he likes to call himself, generic Gene Jackson, a man who doesn't care about gear, he doesn't care about gimmicks, all he cares about is in-ring quality, and I honestly am envious of that. Obviously, as you know, I'm a little bit too much of a character. I run around this ring, I do crazy stuff, I rock with you guys, I even rocked with some of you guys over in the corners over there. And I wish that I could just have a good in-ring caliber in me where I didn't have to worry about a gimmick. And it's not even a shot at Gene. It obviously works. He's a former MUW openweight champion, and he's proven time in and time out that he is an incredible athlete. So I want him to come down to this ring right now because I have a weird feeling he's got some things to say. I've already said my piece. So let's see what he has to say. Well, thank you, Gene. Like, genuinely, it means so much to hear people complimenting me when I just want to live the simple life, you know? Way too many people nowadays, they try to be the person who is known for one good promo or one good segment, but I want to be remembered throughout my career as the guy who put on good matches week in, week out, night in, night out, and it doesn't matter, you know? It's why I keep myself very minimalistic, because at the end of the day, I don't care if I have a fancy logo to put onto my gear. I don't care if I have the gimmick that people want to see engage with other people. I only care about, can I out-wrestle somebody else? And that's all I'll ever care about. But maybe, after looking through the locker room and seeing the Timo Schreibers of the world, the ELSs of the world, the Eduardo Peronis, the Dexter Drummonds, so yourself, maybe it may be time for a change. I don't know. And I don't know when that will ever happen, but I would genuinely love it if you, Dexter, would happily help me on my journey to becoming just a better all-round wrestler. Gene, my buddy, my pal, my friend, I'm glad I can call you a friend. If you need help at any time, okay? And I'm surprised you do, okay? I genuinely think the stuff that you do is incredible, but if you ever want help to liven up a bit and maybe find a character that works for you, you know where I am. I like to sit in the locker room, bashing away at some non-existent drums, feeling the vibes, being the modern day rocker as I usually am. So if you ever need me, all you have to do is tell me to lay off the drums and let's get to business. So, Eddie Longbow Smith, a man that I've only had one interaction with yet. I feel like I know more about him than I should. Whilst the stories of him tearing up with some big names have been spread through the Academy locker rooms, his attitude sucks. He walks around acting like he's some sort of god, like he shouldn't even be here and he should already be on CEW, when there are guys in this academy who are doing everything they can to get that contract and propel their careers. And it's just saddening to see someone who sits alongside all of us and has different feelings to all of us. You are pathetic. You're out here talking about feelings and attitudes as if it means anything here. With all this talk, are you sure you sit in the right locker room? And you haven't been moved to the men's by mistake? I'm sick of you lowlifes judging me for what I've done for years. And that's win matches, get my paycheck, and just do what I need to do. I don't have to sit around your little friendship circles and watch you all circle jerk each other into thinking you're better than you actually are. Man, you really are an asshole. I'm not finished, Run. Now shut up. I told you to plan things with me. You didn't. And that speaks more than anything I've ever done. Because at least deep down I care about this business. But all you care about is what someone is like outside of the ring. I'm professional, not friendly, and the sooner you guys realize that's the only way to truly succeed in this industry, the better. Now if you excuse me, I've got more important business to attend to, rather than talking to your cosplay wrestler ass. People probably want to know who I am, and what I do. My name is Udano Michitaka, and I am one of the members of the Academy. I've been wrestling for the past, I want to say 10 years now? And for those 10 years I have seen a lot. I have seen people come and go, and I have learnt the skills that I need to consider myself a great professional wrestler. And I'm here in the Academy because I want to learn the more Western style of professional wrestling. You see, my promos might not be the best, and my in-ring ability might be a bit too Eastern for some people. But I want to prove that with a little bit of seasoning, and with a little bit of spice, Udano Michitaka can be somebody that's a future champion in CEW. Aww, look at you. Trying to be this cool guy, trying to be the next big deal in CEW, and trying to win these people over. If you didn't know me, then what on earth are you doing? My name is Doran Lowe, and I am the smoothest man in professional wrestling. You see, I have been honing my skills for the past 5 years on the independent scene, and I think it's about time that I finally showed the world who Doran Lowe truly is, and it seems as though management feels the same. Because if you see my face and you see a little promotional video that they've been throwing around, I have been added to the CEW Cruiserweight Invitational. Something that, last time I checked, you weren't in. In fact, there's only one other person in the Academy involved, and I'm fairly certain it's because a lot of people in the back seem to appreciate Benkins. Not saying I don't, but I'm just saying I don't see anything in him. But let me just tell you this right now, Udano. I don't think you have what it takes. But that's not an insult at you, that's an insult at the industry. You see, I have seen people come and go, walking past, trying to earn themselves a big opportunity, and they never truly do. Because you see, it takes a once-in-a-lifetime generation star to waltz in and capture the hearts of the people, and that's exactly what I have done before, and it is what I'm going to do here in the Academy, and I feel like that's what I'm doing to the people around this arena right now. And that is by being the smoothest man in professional wrestling, and if you want to see that, not just through my words, but through my actions, I've been seeing all these people making their matches for whenever these Academy Championship matches are. But I don't want one. I don't think you're worth my time, and quite frankly, I think it's insulting if you genuinely think you're worth my time. So how about you learn a bit more wrestling, maybe realize that these fans are sheep and that listening to them is the worst thing you can do, and then maybe we can talk. Okay, listen up, people. I like you, you like me, let's keep it that way. My name is Kyle Guluton, and I am one of the best technical wrestlers in Europe. I was one of the guys who was meant to be on MUW, but the CEW Academy contract was just a little too tempting for me to pass by, which is why I'm here now. But just because I'm one of the greatest technical wrestlers in Europe, and because I'm one of the greatest wrestlers on the planet, doesn't mean I don't know how to get my hands a little dirty from here and there. And Jason Zander, my promo opponent, there's a bit too much about that, doesn't he? The Mr. Deathmatch, I swear I've seen him. When I did a little YouTube search, I swear I've seen like 1,000 free matches of him in some sort of deathmatch stipulation. Quite frankly, it's disgusting. How are you meant to be a good wrestler when all you're using is weapons and when all you're doing is putting your body through needless harm just for fan entertainment? And like I said, I like you guys. I understand that you like to get, some violence, you like to see some extreme moments, but when you're literally watching a guy put his body through glass sheets almost weekly, I don't think you can truly call him a wrestler. You call him a hardcore junkie. And that is why I am here to say this to Jason Zander right now. Come down to this ring. I care about you, man. I worry about you. This is an intervention. Get down here. Okay, I get it, right? You're trying to poke some fun at my expense, calling me a hardcore junkie, trying to say, hey, let's have an intervention, but you just sound like an absolute asshole right now. And I like how you had to start your entire promo by saying, I like you guys like me. I like them too, okay? But do you think I'm putting myself through glass sheets every week just for them? No. I do it to prove a point. That when I step into a ring, I am the hardest bastard there. When I step into an arena, I am the hardest bastard in that arena. And you know something, Kyle, you might be an incredible technical wrestler, but I guarantee you if you stepped into a death match, 5 seconds later you would be crying, you would be wishing that you could go back to applying an ankle lock on someone. Whereas with me, I could do a technical match if I wanted to, but I would prefer to show everybody just how tough of a wrestler I am and just how tough of a person I am. So if you want to go ahead and insult the style of wrestling that I enjoy and I have become famous from, then go ahead and vent, I guess. But don't say I'm a junkie. Don't try and say it's a disgusting style of wrestling. Because at the end of the day, I could say the same about technical wrestling. Why are you trying to bore these fans? Why are you trying to put them to sleep? Well, I put people to sleep, but I put them to sleep by literally hurting them. It's just... I don't even know, man. You seemed to be such a nice guy, but then you called me a junkie, and that is the thing I cannot get past. But if you ever want to settle your differences, I can always set up a death match here in the academy. I could always do that, but you wouldn't, because you're too scared. You know, I've heard everyone talk, I really have, all of the gossip backstage of, oh, you're just in here because you're Blake Payne's sister. You're only in here because you're Blake's sister. Oh, you're only in here because your last name is Payne. And it hurts. It really does. And not just because people think I'm only here because of nepotism, but because deep down I know that people are expecting me to be this certain level, to be this certain way when it comes to being a wrestler. You know, they expect me to be full of charisma like my brother is, or to be this great top tier wrestler, and I've only been training for 4 months. I've only been training. I've never had a professional wrestling match in my life, and quite frankly, I'm still so new to this that hearing people say that they want me to be like my brother already is just... it hurts. It's disheartening because there is no way I can be, as much as I hate to admit it, as talented as he is with only 4 months of experience. You know, Sienna, this is the reason why you get the dirty looks in the locker room. I know you've seen them. The whole staring at you and making you feel as though you don't belong. It's not just because you are Blake Payne's sister, and just because you hold the name Payne. It's because of the fact that it feels as though you're using that as an excuse not to be the best person you can be. You see, how do you think Blake became one of the best people in CEW and arguably to some people one of the best wrestlers in this industry? Because he trains. Because he's been training for his entire career. That's what you've got to do. If you want to get to the top, you've got to train to be at the top. And if you want to stay at the top, you've got to train even harder to stay at the top. That's what I've done. And I've never hit the top before. And I would argue that I am in peak physical condition. Some of the best condition I've ever been in my entire life. So that is why you've also got to keep training. And don't even let the thoughts of, oh, I'm just Blake Payne's sister, creep into your mind, because you're not. You are your own person. You need to carve out your own identity, and you need to find out who you are. There's no point hiding behind the Payne name, and there's no point using your brother's success as an excuse as to why you're not doing so well. You may only have been training for 4 months, but you have to have seen some progress in that time. And if you haven't, maybe it's time to reevaluate things. Juan Ortega, my guy, we've spoken quite a bit actually, and I've earned a lot of respect for you. You see, a lot of people, when I brashly come in and I tell them they're not hitting their big moves right, or they're not doing it as well as they could be, they normally get offended, and you know what? Fair enough, rightfully so. But every single bit of advice I've given you, both on screen and behind the scenes, you seem to have taken on board, and I can honestly respect that, my friend. It takes a big man to admit that sometimes you're not working at your fullest. Sometimes there are things you need to tweak, and sometimes there are things you need to just throw out entirely. And you know what? I would, if I was wearing a hat right now, I would tip it. Because, once again, it takes a real man to realize that sometimes it's time for a change. So, you know what? If you've ever wanted to say something to me, if you've ever wanted to, give me a little bit of criticism, because I've seen it in your eyes, and no one's above criticism. Come down to this ring right now, and you can tell me what you want to say right now. Come on, do it. Do it. Come on. Come on, man. Scott, sometimes you're just too hard on yourself, aren't you? You're coming out here and you're thinking that I need to give you criticism. I don't, man. You're doing some of the best work I think I've ever seen from you, and I've already given you some pointers. That finishing move of yours, I've given you some pointers on that, and it looks deadly as all hell. I cannot wait for the first time that you're able to show that to the world. Hopefully, you get the top score in that promo battle. But I just want to thank you. Without making this too corny and without trying to get emotional, when I came to the academy, I genuinely thought it was just to make numbers. And the fact that someone would actually come up to me and would give me advice and would take me under their wing, and even the head coaches have just been so supportive of me. Byron's helped me, Blake's helped me, some of the other coaches have helped me, and it's just, you've helped me too, and it's just, I'm stumbling over my words here, I'm so sorry, but I just want to thank everybody, because, like I said, when I came in here, I thought it was just to make numbers, I mean, I've been around the Mexican independent scene for ages, and I've never really turned the needle, and to see the Byron saw something in me to give me a contract for the academy, at least, it just goes to show you I've been doing something right for these years. And just to see how supportive you've been of me, Scott, it means the world to me, man. And I hope that one day I can repay the favor whenever it's needed, be it, giving you some sort of critique, telling you, hey, man, if you're gonna win this, you need to up your game for this, or just to tell you, like, hey, maybe we should go for the tag titles at some point. I just want to thank you, and even if I don't get the CEW contract at the end of this season, I guess, at least I know I've walked out of here with a good friend in you. So, to me, that's all that matters. I am so happy that I get to finally stand in front of you all and just speak my truth, speak what I need to say. I have been overlooked in my career for the longest time. On the independent scene, I have been wrestling here, there, and everywhere, and I've always been that person who's been a good hand, a dependable hand, but has never been given that opportunity. Which is why I'm hoping that the Academy can be my turnaround. I want to show the world that they were wrong to make me that dependable hand, but not the person you would put a massive opportunity in front of. No. From now on, I'm going to prove them 110% wrong. I'm going to show the world why Bianca Lawson deserves the opportunities that she has missed for the past however many years it's been. And I want to be an Academy champion. I want to go on to be CEW Women's World Champion. I want to potentially, at some point, be CEW Women's Intercontinental Champion, and if it ever happens, Women's Tag Champion. I want to do everything I've never been able to do in my career before, here in CEW. Look at you, getting all worked up because you weren't given opportunities. Big deal, grow up, okay? Maybe there's a reason why you weren't given opportunities. Maybe it's because you're just not good enough. I know for a fact that me and Nola Fleming, we have been given opportunities in a ton of promotions. And we've proven time in and time out that we are two of the best women's wrestlers on the planet. And we are arguably the greatest women's tag team ever, if we're being completely honest. So why on earth are you sitting here complaining about not having opportunities when in reality it's all down to what you do? You can't be blaming promoters, you can't be blaming bookers, when at the end of the day, if they don't see something in you, that's a you problem. If they don't see the potential in you, that's a you problem. So stop trying to blame everybody else, because one of these days you've got to turn around, look at yourself and realize, hold up a second, I just suck. Because you do. And take that from me. And take that from Nola Fleming. Take that from one half of the quintessential duo. You just suck. You do. And that's just life. And you can't change that unless you turn around, look at yourself, and accept that you're the problem. It's never going to change unless you do that. Well, that was heartfelt there from Juan Ortega, and I know I was told not to mention the other promos, but I felt the need to say this. Juan, from the bottom of my heart, no one cares, okay? Nobody cares about your emotional, sappy bullshit, okay? Because you talked about the Mexican independent scene. How many times did I kick your ass around there? Too many to count. But let's just move on. Kenichi Hikaru. I don't even know that much about you. You seem a bit of an enigma. And someone said to me, proceed with caution. I get it, you're wearing the black and the yellow, and it looks like caution tape, and ooh, mysterious, but I've never met a man that I've ever backed down from. I may only be a small man, but I got a big heart, and I've got an even bigger brain. I could consider myself one of the smartest tacticians in professional wrestling, but I don't make claims that I can't back up. I know there's gonna come a day where I will be outsmarted, but until then, I will continue to use my tactics, I will continue to use my brain, and I will continue to be Ruben Ruiz, Mexican wrestling icon. An enigma? You wanna call me an enigma? I'm flattered. You see, I would be fully flattered if you had actually called me a man of mystery, because that's what I am. Or a man of caution. You see, you have made the wrong mistake by calling me an enigma, just the same as you wearing a mask when you have such great looking eyes. Glistening. But enough of that. You said that you're kinda scared of me, but you feel like you can outsmart me. But that's your mistake. You should never try to outsmart a madman. Because a madman is more sane than actual people who claim to be sane. So that is why you would not last 5 minutes with me in the ring. I would go to show you that just because you're a smart tactician does not make you a good wrestler. It just makes you a smart wrestler. But any smart person can be thrown off their game by just a little dose of madness. I'll see you around, Ruben. I'll see you real soon.